Mauricio, let me take you to a period that perhaps you don't want to remember, but it was a difficult period out of which you came out strongly. You lost against West Ham at home. You lost against Ajax at home. And you lost against Bournemouth. So 3 defeats at a time where everybody was writing, and it did seem that the team was tired. You had 4 days before the second leg of the semi-finals against Ajax. What do you remember of that period?
Well, I remember everything. The problem is difficult to explain the circumstance, and each moment was so complicated. And how the team arrived in different games was tough and was so difficult. But we knew very well that in the moment that we flew to Amsterdam, the team is going to be ready to fight. And of course, from the beginning, the first half was so tough. And I think the second half, when no one believed, we started to score goals. Lucas Moura was unbelievable, and the team started to take a risk and start to play in the way that we needed to play. I think with plenty of energy. I think Ajax started to drop in their level, and of course was amazing in the last minute how we scored and how we celebrate after. It was amazing feeling.
We'll go through the game a little bit, but before that, you lose against Bournemouth, and you're coming out of the pitch thinking, right, it's 3 defeats. I've got 4 days in my hands to change, first of all, the mentality of the team. Is that your first priority?
But that is a normal mind. I think in us that we are professional, we are not affected because of the last 3 games we lose. I think in our mind is always to analyze everything, and the circumstance that was the game against Bournemouth that was Sonny sent off on the first half. On the second half, from the beginning, Juan Foyt, we played with 9, and I think was nearly heroic to keep the result and maybe to win for some chances that we have, and we conceded in the last minute too, and was a little bit unfair. West Ham was unfair, and Ajax was unfair on the end. And you know, sometimes this type of period are tough, but you cannot be affected for that. And we weren't strong enough. 4 days to prepare Ajax. I think we were talking a lot, and I think was everything was in a very good way. And we didn't feel that we were in a bad period. Only was the result that was winning against us. But I think the belief was unbelievable, and the energy was amazing to the second half to kill Ajax, because on the end I think when everything was against us, I think. In the last 35 minutes, the energy that showed the team, the belief, the faith was a team that is more than alive. No, if not, it's impossible.
And in terms of belief and faith, that's something that you install in your players from day one. It took you a while to make them think that way, but perhaps that's something you don't have to focus so much on these days. So again, those 4 days before Ajax, the kind of talks that you had, did it have to do with how the team had to move or defensive line? Or was it something psychological as well?
I think in all the areas, I think in both areas were so important. One, football, that is so important, the tactic, and of course to prepare the game plan is so important. And of course the psychology, the mental are so important in a team. And of course we work in both direction, in both way, and I think to prepare the game in the best. But of course always you need some luck. And of course first half was again, but the second half we try, we find, never give up, and I think that was on the end the team was a reward for that capacity to fight and always believe that it was possible.
So you walk into the stadium just before the final and you think, okay, team is ready. I've done everything that I had to do. At that point, your influence is minimum because you already have 4 days of... You train every day, by the way, the 4 days before, or did you give some rest?
No rest, because it was impossible, because it was to prepare, and was a difficult circumstance. A lot of players with a small problem, another with big problems. You know, we were very limited in our numbers, like in all maybe the second half of the season. and fighting with all this situation that is again you, and I think we can arrive into the semi-final, and then of course to be in a good position on the Premier League. And of course that is why I am so grateful to the player and the staff, because I think we worked so hard to try to performance in the way that we performance, because after when you analyze the performance, I think the team performed very well. Of course, not like we expect to performance to challenge City or to challenge Liverpool in the Premier League, but I think in the way that we compete in the Premier League and of course in the Champions League was amazing.
So the message that the team receives from you just before the second leg. Remember the return, of course, of Son. Bertogen was fine, had recovered from the knock. So the message was what? Make sure you score a goal early, or make sure that you come out on the forefront. What was the priority there?
No, the priority was to be strong and know to translate the idea that is 90 minutes or 95 minutes. And all that happened in Liverpool, Barcelona, I think helped us to realize that all is possible.
Did you watch it? Did you
yes,
all
we
watch
watched it. All we watched it. And of course, I think was the game against Manchester City the same. I think helped us to build that strong mentality that never give up. And I think it was easy to prepare the game again, the second leg. I think we talk a lot before the game how we need to approach it. But of course, when you concede so early on the game, all the plan change. And of course, you need to be calm because the emotion start to change in the way that you prepare the game. But of course, that is so important to be strong, no? And of course, when you concede the second goal, of course, and then it's make all more difficult. But of course, we were so relaxed on the halftime, and I think because it was like was so unfair to be in the position that we were, and of course we were talking about never give up was about to fix some problem that we had in some situation, but in the offensive situation more than the defensive situation. And of course, to try and not give up and be strong. That was the team talk during the halftime, and of course that the mentality was amazing because I think we scored the first. Lucas scored 55, and how the team believe and start to going forward and find the energy was an amazing thing.
I keep taking you back because I want to go through it a little bit, but. What's important is that the players know what the idea is. This is before the start of the game. But then you always use, and I think coaches do that generally, an extra motivational thing. At that point was your captain, Hugo Lloris, talking to the players before the start of the game.
Yes, always is before the game, always when we are preparing in the last few minutes, always I give some words to the player, and on the end, before to go to the pitch, is always the captain.
What did you say? Remember more or less?
What I say?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I say is try to touch them inside, talking about all the effort that we were doing until to arrive there, to play with our heart. It's touch, emotional touch. I think always. To be focused, but of course not always working because after 3 minutes it was 1-0 down, and of course after we win and a lot of things that you can say, but the most important is the players are on the pitch and make the job and the quality that they show during the game. It's more important than my talk before the game or during the halftime.
Lloris, did he also focus on the emotional?
Yes.
He also talked to
Yes. Always is about, I think not only us, all the team prepare some team talk, manager, captain, always.
Any line from him that you think, I didn't think of that, or that was clever from him, or look, the reaction of people from it?
Always, it's easy to prize when you win. It's easy to prize when, like, 2-0 down, 3-2, and then all want to take the credit, about because it was my team talk or was the captain or was I don't know who. but how many games that we lose and was similar, the team talk, or some player or the captain was maybe more expressive or more emotional in the talk. And always the result is mark if you are successful. Oh, what amazing was the team talk! But if you lose, when better team talk, you were so bad. Always how affect the result the after the perception. No?
But okay, you felt that the team was ready.
The team was ready.
In fact, Hugo Lloris was ready because he makes a great save for the corner that produces the first goal. In that corner, I was looking closely to it, and you had Trippier on the Ligt, but you had Vertonghen keeping an eye on his man and on the Ligt.
Yes.
And then when the Ligt makes his run, the big makes a big stops Vertonghen, even throws him on the floor.
Yes. He was blocked.
He was blocked. I guess good offensive block,
yes,
if you like.
Exactly.
But of course, there is one or two players, and I'm thinking, I didn't do my job properly. So were you worried about the mentality of, say, Trippier and Vertonghen at that point? What happens? You're 1-0 down and 1-0 from the first
because
time.
that is football and can happen. When we knew very well the lead situations in the corner, and we work about that. But in the end, it's some decision. It's the decision that you cannot affect from outside, and they need to take the responsibility. But in football, always is about to make the mistake. Look what happened when they conceded 3 goals. Or I think football.
But you personally, at that point, you think, what do I have to say? Do I have to look calm? Do I have to say something to Trippier? Come on, just cheer up.
Yes, in this moment, it's difficult from outside to affect. Only to translate. Come on, calm, keep going, playing in the same way. Don't think in the goal. And I know it's so easy to talk, to say that, but and then to apply is difficult for the player because they feel the disappointment, and of course it's not easy to come back. I think we were affected in the next 10-15 minutes, and then of course we start to play. I think we have had a very good chance with Sonny and
hit the post.
Yeah, hit the post, and a little bit unlucky, and then we concede the second goal.
And now that goal, at that point, we're getting half an hour of the game already. Are you looking at your assistants, at Jesus, at Mickey, at Tony, to see what reactions you've got, or you're trying to kind of bring the same calm that you bring into the players to your assistants, or is it the other way around? Are they trying to calm you down? What kind of relationship?
To be honest, I don't remember Jesus, Mickey, or Tony, what happened in that moment that they scored the second goal. But we are always so relaxed on of course, our faces or our body language. When you are losing 2-0, you show that you are not happy. But in that moment, I think it's about to be calm. If you are nervous, you are not going to translate good feeling to the team. The most important is relax, keep going, playing. Start to play easy, be solid, and to stick with your bases and your values, and of course keep going. And always, it's a period during the game that you are going to suffer, and you must be all together and strong. And I think the team was like this because on the halftime was that the feeling that was complete unfair, the result. But that we were alive. In the moment that we score, we are going to be alive and can change the dynamic and change the feelings and the emotion. We are going to translate the fears to the opponent, and that was what happened. That was the moment was to be relaxed and fix some problem that we were seeing during the first half, tactical things.
Can
And
you
of
share
course,
some of it? What did you see that needed touching?
Yes, I think it's difficult not to talk now to explain because I think it's not easy. I need a pitch to try to explain But I think a few things that we wanted to provide the team to help to play better, try to create chances, and I think was good after the substitution of Wanyama and Fernando was in. We start to have more capacity to have different way. To find different way to play, and I think all that happened provide us to be better, and that belief that always you need to come back in a result like was nearly done.
In that second goal that they scored, again, perhaps Trippier makes a mistake. So does Wanyama in the way he doesn't see Ziyech running in behind. Do you have to focus on that, or somebody in your team has to go to Trippier? Come on, because he becomes important in the second half, and to Wanyama as well. Don't worry, just cheer up. Do you work on that as well, or does anybody in your team work on that?
No, they know after 5 years, they know that my support, our support is infinite. It's not, it's very honest support, and they know very well that they can make a mistake. It's not a problem to make a mistake. The problem is not try. The problem is not to have the right attitude. That is the big problem, or they can have problem with us. But to make a mistake is part of the game.
At halftime, you go generally to look at the videos and what you're gonna express. And you were talking about more about how you're gonna organize yourself offensively, because Llorente, for instance, is gonna come on. But then you walk into the changing room. Basically, you've got 7-8 minutes to change history. Really,
yes, not too
something
much.
like that.
6 minutes. Yes.
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
So you walk in, and what do you sense?
No, the players were so relaxed, and of course they are. When I go, I cross the door, the changing room, the dressing room. Of course, all the eyes is in you, and you can feel the
tension.
The tension, no? When the result is not positive, always happen the same. They try to find an answer, And in that moment, you decide the approach. Sometimes you are relaxed, sometimes you are aggressive. It's not depend of the result, depend of what you need to translate to the team. In that moment, I think was very relaxed. They were watching me. We show a few clips about some situation, offensive and defensive. In that moment, we said, we are alive. In the moment that we score one, we are going to be on the game, and we are going to be on the tie, and we are going to translate them the bad feelings and the emotion and the fears. It's only to be strong, solid, and never give up, because we are going to have time. That was to translate the confidence and the trust on them, and play freedom. That was because everything was loose in that moment. Was 2-0 down, 3-0 in the tie. Nothing to lose. We only need to provide the team good energy, belief, and faith. And with our quality, we are going to be capable to score.
Everything you've done from day one here and in the 5 years at Espanyol and at Southampton, it has to do with processes, with you working on the training ground, having individual conversations, having collective conversations, have belief, bring back the young kid that you were and the passion that you had. That's what you want from the players. But for many, it's very easy to explain things like what happened in the second half by pointing out, for instance, that Harry Kane comes at halftime, makes a speech, and then you win.
I didn't see Harry Kane. It surprised me because, it's strange. But I understand, no? He's the captain of the national team, and Trippier, Darren Ross are English. I need to give some credit, not to him, but I promise I didn't see him on the changing room.
Because of that process, you of course, when you introduce somebody like Llorente on the pitch, it's a different approach to the game straight away. He goes on blind. He tries to be on blind more than on De Ligt, because De Ligt is a little bit weaker physically. And then
but the last action was fighting with De Ligt.
Yes,
exactly.
We're going to get that.
Yes.
But so at that point, the whole team has to realize that second balls are important and that they have to be alerted to whatever Llorente brings to them. Did you feel from the beginning that the team responded well to all that you introduced?
Yes, I think from the beginning, we showed the belief from the beginning. I think that in the second half was like but the team is alive. It's not we need to spend 45 minutes, okay, we see what happened. No, we are going to try to force them to make a mistake. And that is, I think, the important thing, and why I prize the team, or we prize the team, because the belief and the faith was amazing to show the character. And of course, I think we give the credit to Lucas Moura, but I think we need to give more credit. We need to stop to talk that my team talk or Harry Kane team talk or it's about that Lucas Moura scored 3 unbelievable goals. Without Lucas Moura, we can talk all the day, but you are not going to change nothing.
Last 2 questions. Minute 94. Sear had hit the post in the 78. Vertonghen hit the bar in 86. It needed a save of Lloris in 92. 94, Onana gets a yellow for wasting time. And then 94 and something. Sissoko, who's centre back at that point, who had been right back as well in the same game, yes, plays it long to Llorente against De Ligt. And it's De Ligt who actually delivers the ball to Dele Alli. Now, the touch of Dele Alli.
Yes, I don't know if the ball was for Lucas. I don't know if the touch was for Lucas. But Danny Ross told me after, he said, Gaffa, do you think that the ball from Dele was from Lucas or from another, or for Fernando? I think was for Lucas. I said, no way, he said to me, Danny. Wasn't for Lucas. He wanted to play with Fernando.
I thought it was genius, because he actually, when you've got the ball in that position, you play it wide, because there's a guy running next to you. But in fact, he places it
He said to me, Danny, look, he didn't see in the screen. Yes, Danny is very clever.
So anyway, that gets scored. And then then what? What happens with your head at that point?
No, I lose my head. I think that in that moment, I believe that it was finished, the game, because all the players down on the pitch, the Ajax, and we were all inside, all the bench player, people, staff, everything. And I believe, okay, finish the game.
You go on your knees as well.
Yes, exactly. So we finish. And we are going out. No, now 1 minute more. No, 1 minute more. Fernando, central back, go back and defend. Yeah, it was crazy. In that moment, it was crazy.
Because I think there was 7 players of Ajax that were in the halfway line to get the ball long. And you asked Fernando Llorente to go back?
Fernando put it with Toby and Anshan in the middle, yes. And he touched the ball. The first long ball, he touched the ball. Hit the ball, yes.
And then it finishes. Somehow you had your tie undone and your shirt was open.
I think it's going to be for the museum.
The shirt or the tie?
Yeah, the shirt, the tie, because the trouser.
The sweat and the tears, all that should be. Have you
because
watched?
Now I made a new one for the final, because it was destroyed after the game.
Somebody described you as a drunk dad in a
drunk dad.
Yeah, a drunk dad in a disco.
No.
I don't know if that fits.
But
that's what makes it
not looks that
lovely.
I have seen as I am still
young.
Young,
yeah,
no?
Of course. A drunk older brother. An older brother, that's what you are. But you go straight away, you turn around and you go to Erik ten Hag and say, I've been trying to read the lips, but I don't know what you said to him.
To who?
To the Ajax manager.
No, I say congratulations. I think.
You didn't say congratulations because you said
no. I said sorry, maybe. I don't know what I say. No, I say. It's difficult to say something in that moment.
But you thought
because.
Of it.
Yes, of course, it's disappointing. So disappointing. How they celebrated the first and the second goal. When you watch now, and the celebration was like, done. We are on the final. And then it's difficult. What you are going to tell when a people believe that have some sim or got some sim but disappear in 1 second. It's not easy to say, well done, or congratulations, or I feel sorry, because I don't feel sorry. Because you want to win. It's only good luck and all the best for the future.
Tears come down, and it was just the tension coming out of you, I imagine. There was 2 amazing moments. The hug with Hugo Lloris.
Yes.
Was there words or just a hug?
I think it was show how we are and how we work hard. All the things that happened in the last in 5 years, it's a lot of moment that we share here inside. The happiness, the sad moment, the problems. I think with him is like because all the process that when we arrived, he was here, was one of the captain the first season, and then was the captain. And I think it was like, was very emotional because to get a final Champions League with Tottenham, I think in the last 5 years we talk a lot and we dream together. I think it's amazing emotion to share, in this moment.
And a kiss from your son, Sebastiano.
Yes, it was amazing. I realized after through the TV, in some picture, because in that moment I was like in, I don't know
floating.
where. Yes, exactly. And yes, because, in your mind starts to appear a lot of thought and image and memories. And I think in that moment you cannot keep inside the emotion and, of course, appear the tears. And because it's an amazing achievement for everyone.
The last one, Thomas. What was the first moment that you were on your own, trying to realize what had happened on your own?
I don't remember, because I think after we back and we sleep we sleep here on the training ground on the lodge, and I think when I arrived to the hotel, my room, I go to the shower. That was my first moment on the shower, thinking all that. Happened in a few minutes before or hours before. I think that was my first moment alone that I started to realize where we were achieving in the last few hours. No?
Did you cry again?
No cry, because I think I cry a lot.
You run out of
tears. Yes, not tears, and I think it was a moment to feel the happiness. We were very tired, but I think it was a moment to be relaxed. No.
Gracias.
You're welcome.